The COVID pandemic caused a lot of things to happen.
Gloom at her cheerleader's school.
You were shut down, and you stopped paying rent because we had COVID.
But this mom...
What are you charging her $3,000 for?
...won't fall for her stunt.
She didn't pay every single month.
And you stopped paying rent in March because we had COVID. You get where I'm going?
This is Judge Judy. Tricia Bryant is suing Johanna Ramos for unpaid cheerleading competition expenses.
Judge, this is case number 44 on the calendar in the matter of Bryant versus Ramos. Parties have been sworn in.
Thank you, Bird.
You're welcome, Judge.
Ms. Bryant, you run a program for young kids, a cheerleading program.
Correct.
And you've been doing that for a long time. It's your claim that the defendant owes you the balance of fees for her two daughters. And those fees accrued after COVID struck and the
Actually, they occurred from 2018.
Your complaint states, and I'm reading it, she paid in full for the 18-19 season without issue. So I trusted her. For the 19-20 season, she paid her last payment in February of 2000.
Correct.
So one of her children was in your program in the 18-19 year, and she was fully paid. You were fully paid.
She had a rolling balance of $955 for...
That's not what you said in your complaint, madam. Should have been more careful when you read it and signed it. You said she stopped paying you in February. That is after COVID struck, February of 2020. That's what you state in your sworn complaint.
That was her last payment.
Now, this is the issue. The issue is, does she owe the money? She had a signed contract with you.
Right.
So I have a few questions for you. I want you to explain to me how these competitive classes work. First, I would assume you teach the youngsters, and she has young children, the two that were in your program. First, there are lessons, and those are taught in person, historically. Is that correct?
Correct.
And are they taught by you or you and a staff?
We have staff members. We have choreographers come in. We have coaches come in.
Okay, and is this in a studio?
Mm-hmm. It's a gym.
Do you own the gym or rent the gym?
I own the gym. I don't own the property, but I own the tumble shop.
Repeat that for me, please.
I lease the facility.
From whom?
Pacific Coast Commercial.
And what's your rent?
$3,500 a month.
When was the last time you used the facility?
March 17th, 2020.
When was the last time you paid rent?
March 1st, 2020. I was closed down due to COVID.
I just asked, stop paying rent in March to Pacific Coast. Is that right?
Correct.
That would be a yes. And when was your lease up?
My lease was actually up in December of 2019.
So you were a month-to-month tenant?
For the time being, we had an agreement with Pacific Coast. We were going to relocate to another city due to the area, what it has become. I didn't feel it was safe for children. I was going to rent another facility.
So you stopped paying rent on the facility where you had been holding classes on March 1st, and you did not relocate anywhere?
March 1st we were covered through April 1st, and in April 1st, we were going to move to a new facility. But due to COVID, we haven't moved yet.
Did you pay rent in March?
Yes.
From Pacific? That's an easy thing for me to find out from Pacific. You did?
Yes, I did.
Paid $3,500 in March?
Correct.
In April, you did not pay them rent, and you were going to move to another facility.
Correct.
My question to you is, did you move to another facility?
No, because I wasn't able to open with the...
I don't care, no. because we had COVID.
Right.
So starting in April, there was an impossibility for you to perform, just so that you understand, for all the children in your program.
We were holding
the
Zoom
function
classes.
that you were retained to do, which was to have choreographers in a gym at classes. So let's be clear and stopped having a facility where classes could take place and you had your classes on Zoom.
Correct.
For the children.
Correct.
Now, after you have the classes for the children, are there competitions?
All the competitions were canceled.
No, that's not my question to you. Historically, when someone signs up over 35 years that you've been running your school, have there been competitions with other cheerleading schools? Oh, yes. And in what months are those cheerleading competitions usually held?
November to the end of April.
And, of course, there were no competitions held in March or April.
We attended one the first week of March.
And after that, the rest of them were canceled.
Correct.
You get where I'm going? The defendant made her last payment to you in February. That's what you say in your complaint. That accurate?
Correct. January 29th.
Right. Can you tell me, Ms. Ramos, why your last payment was January 29th?
I stopped working due to COVID.
In February?
I gave her the last payment in February.
Oh, can you show me that the last payment was in February, please?
No, all my payments were made in cash.
Okay. Do you have a receipt?
I don't.
Did your daughters attend any programs in February? Before how many weeks in February they attended classes?
They did all February. Sometimes the classes were canceled.
Okay, but they did attend, and according to you, you paid her in cash in February.
Yes.
Was she always paid in cash?
Yes.
How much cash was she paid every month?
From May to October, I gave her $300 a month cash. To November and December, I did $200 cash also. January and February, I did $260 in cash for each month, and it was all in cash.
Last year, when your older daughter attended the program, did you also pay her in cash?
Yes.
Do all of your students pay you in cash?
No, ma'am.
But Miss Ramos paid you in cash.
I have credit card receipts that the cards were denied, and so I would ask her to bring cash or check or money order.
I'm just asking you if you were paid in cash.
Yes, Ms. Ramos
The answer
pays
is
in
from
cash.
her, yes. Other people paid in either credit card
It
or
was
a
usually
check.
automatic or
But she
withdrawals.
paid in cash, and you accepted the cash, and she was current in her payment according to you for the first year. That's according to your sworn statement for the 18-19 year. Okay, Ms. Bryant, you do understand that the ravages to business of the COVID pandemic caused a lot of things to happen. The landlord, right?
Right.
Because you were shut down and you stopped paying rent. That's what actually happened. And you had a program that provided for in-person lessons, choreographers, according to you, gymnasts, according to you, in a program for little girls. And then there were a series of competitions, which were all part of the program. In-person competitions. That no longer existed, just like your rent to Pacific no longer existed because of COVID.
Correct.
So since you couldn't perform the service that was contracted for by providing in-person lessons with choreographers, according to you,
But
with
she wasn't
gymnasts,
billed for-
and the competitions that didn't take place.
She wasn't
I
billed
don't
for
think
those
you're entitled to any more
competitions
money.
nor the tuition for those months. The competitions we didn't attend,
Well,
she
what was
wasn't charged.
Well, what are you charging her $3,000 for? According to you, she was paid up, made her last payment
She
in
made
February
for-
2020. That's according.
I have a statement
I'm
here
just telling
that
you.
she gets emailed every
No,
month.
listen to me. You signed a statement. Your statement, your complaint, which she got served with, said she made her last payment in February and she was current for her 18-19 year.
She
stopped
has-
paying in February.
She didn't pay every single month. That was the problem. I have text messages from her.
Do you want to tell me what months are you alleging she didn't pay for, month and year?
December. Her payment was January 29th, and then the last one was May 30th.
No,
September
I'm
8th.
talking about 2020. You're stuck with 18-19.
Sorry, I'm writing it
I'm
backwards.
talking about 2020. Your statement is clear. She was up to date. Let's go.
December 7th was her last payment until March 5th. That was her last payment. She
March
made-
5th of 2020?
2020 was $200 made via Venmo.
Okay, so in March she made a payment of $200. In February, did she make a payment?
No, her last payment before that was December 7th of $200 in cash. Before that was October, $200 in cash.
Okay, just a second. So your daughters did attend in January and February.
Yes.
But did not attend in March because it was closed. So I'm attributing the March payment to February. So did you or did you not make a payment in January?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you have any
And
proof
on
that
the
she did not make a
statements-
payment in January?
I have proof
Do you have
because
any
she
proof
gets an
that-
email statement every month, and I have the log that gets out by Jackrabbit that states when.
All I want,
Signed
I
in.
just want to see
And that
January.
She gets this. I'm giving you January right here. The green are
All
her
I'm interested in
payments.
is January. Just a second.
There's December.
Listen to me. You're not following me. I'm considering the month of January only. According to you, she made a payment in March 5th, and your school was no longer in existence in March.
Oh, we practiced
So
until March
I am-
17th.
Well, it wasn't in existence in March. And the kids didn't get what they bargained for anyway because they were supposed to have competitions through April. I'm asking you about January. Show me January 2020.
January's right here. She was charged $150 for her monthly tuition. There was no payment made. The last payment was
Okay.
December 7th.
Okay. Just 1 second. She was charged $150 in January and did not make a payment. I see January, transaction fee, transaction payment. So transaction fee was $150, empty transaction payment, which she did not pay in January. Where do you have February? Show me her February payment.
February is tuition, her merchandise.
So she,
got
just
team
a second,
shirts.
so she did not pay in February. Now
Correct.
show me March.
March is right here.
March 5th, she paid $200. Okay, and in February, her tuition fee was $150.
Correct.
Okay, and the girls did attend in January, correct?
Yes.
Anything else?
Judge Judy continued.
Let me finish. I'm a handyman. I can explain you better. I know you do your job. You're a judge. I'm a handyman. I'm the pro here. So we fill the gap.
I have more doors than you have years, Mr.
Of
Singh.
course you.
That is not the way you install a door.
Tricia Bryant says Johanna Ramos owes for her daughter's cheerleading competition expenses.
Now, you don't owe her anything for 2020 when your girls did not attend the program. She signed a complaint indicating that you were up to date, but you made your last payment in February. You did not actually make a payment in February. You made it in March. But in March, the program became defunct.
Yes.
So I'm ascribing the March payment that you made to February, which means you still owe her the January payment of $150. We're done. Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I mean, there was a lot of practices and competitions canceled.
We were unable to practice. But we did compete November, December. We did 6 competitions from November until February.
We were still paying for them, so
Online classes were done after March.
I would not do that. They need someone in person.
I'm working with about half of them still.
Yeah, I will find another one.
Thing. Step to the podium, please.
Grace Olivetti is suing handyman Harpinder Singh for the cost of 2 doors plus installation and removal costs. Harpinder is countersuing for unpaid labor.
Mr. Singh, I'm going to start with you, sir.
Thanks.
Miss Olivetti hired you to do work in her house. She hired you to replace 2 doors and to adjust 2 others. You didn't go yourself to do the job. You sent somebody else. Who did you send?
It's my team member, Sunny, and it's 2 times he went there, and 3rd time I will go.
All right, she hired you, you sent somebody else. You came and looked at the doors after your handyman, the other person that you work with, put them in. You realized that it was very poorly done. Would that be fair to say, Mr. Singh? It was poorly done.
Yes, but I fix it.
Well, show me what it looked like after you fixed it.
Yes. So after we installed on March 5th, so she complained that.
Mr. Singh, just show me what you say it looked like when you fixed it.
When you fix it.
That's not fixed.
Fix.
You mean you put that strip in the door that's not flush?
I fill the caulking.
From
with the-
one side?
Let me finish. I'm a handyman. I can explain you better. I know you do your job. You're a judge. I'm a handyman. I'm the pro here. So
Years, Mr.
Of
Singh.
course you.
That is not the way you install a door.
Okay. So when I went there, she complained to me. I said, okay, I'll come personally and fix it. Because in the first stage, she keeps saying me that door is ruined. You just buy the new door and replace with it. I say, ma'am, just give me one chance to come, have a look, and fix it. If after fixing, if you don't like it, I will replace for you.
You went, and that's what you did.
Okay,
Isn't
so
that's what you told me the door looks like after you went there and fixed it.
But after fill the caulkings and fillers, so I asked, ma'am, I fill the cracks. Well, I can do a free painting for you to the doors. She said, no. I always respect my customer. I say, okay, if you don't want, I'm not charging you anything right now. I will buy a new door for you and bring it for you. And if you don't paintings, no worries. I bought the doors for her. And then we have an agreement. This is the agreement, we have it. On March 9th, by the text message. So I will reimburse for the door and she will not do any online review or any legal actions. I bought the door for her on April 2nd. Here's a proof by text message. I informed her. She said, can you please send me the receipt, invoice, so I can follow through directly with the Home Depot, because I bought the door from the Home Depot. Doors were expensive. $600 for a small businessman is very expensive, but still bought it because I want to make my customer happy.
I'm going to say goodbye to you.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He put in the new doors, and we're 7 months later, and you're using the doors that he put in.
Yes.
Do you have an estimate from another contractor to install new doors?
I have what?
That's either a yes or a no.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Grace Olivetti says handyman Harpinder Singh damaged her home while attempting to replace 2 doors.
Now, you returned the doors that you bought for her,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yes. That's all I want to know. You returned the new doors that you bought for her because you had made a mess. Don't speak. Because you had made a mess out of the first job that you did. But you returned those doors. What she's suing you for now are the cost of the doors, which she got rid of and had to replace. How much were the doors, Ms. Olivetti?
$436 for both of them.
For both?
Yes.
And how much money did you pay to Mr. Singh?
Per our agreement, I did not pay anything to him yet because they were not satisfactorily
just
put
a second.
in.
Forget that. The 2 doors that he put in had to be replaced. He acknowledged that they had to be replaced because he went and bought 2 new doors because of what his assistant did with those doors. But why are you suing him for $1,467 when it cost you $436 for new doors? And then I assume you had to have somebody else install them.
Well, I still have the doors that he put up, the ones that were ruined, okay, because the agreement was that he was going to purchase 2 new doors from Home Depot, which he did, and I have his receipt that he sent me.
Yeah, but then he returned them. Miss Olivetti.
Exactly. So I still have the damaged doors. I have not purchased new ones yet, pending this.
Just a second, Miss. Just a second. He put in the new doors
And repair
in
2
March.
doors.
We're now in October.
Yeah.
March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We're 7 months later.
Yeah.
And you're using the doors that he put in.
Yes.
Do you have an estimate from another contractor to install new doors?
I have what?
That's either a yes or a no.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored. Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, do you have an estimate from another contractor to install new doors?
I have what?
That's either a yes or a no.
Not from another contractor, no.
Well, who is going to install the doors for you if not another contractor?
Home Depot.
I tell you what we do. I am entering a provisional judgment for the plaintiff, Mr. Singh, in the amount of $436. When she can produce proof that she has purchased new doors to replace the ones that have now been hanging for 7 months and evidently doing the job.
Yeah, but they look awful.
You didn't pay for them. They look awful. When you buy new doors, you get $436. Thank you very much. We're finished here. Goodbye.
I have a counter sue for here because I am not finished because a door was not returned.
You did an awful
I
awful
bought the doors.
job.
Let me finish, Judge,
Goodbye.
please. Give me 2 minutes.
Goodbye.
This case is concluded.
Over.
Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
When he got incarcerated, I tried to tell him that I didn't really want to be involved with his criminal actions.
Was that the first time you've been incarcerated?
No, I've been incarcerated before.
Next Judge Judy.
1-star review on Home Advisor that did a terrible job.
The day that they installed the doors, it was just...
We have an agreement. I will buy the door for you and deliver to you, but you will not do going any online review.
My heart just went down and was like, oh, no, please.
I said, okay, no worries. I'm happy with you. Still, you have chance to update the review and I deliver the doors at your door.
The review does stand...
She never update the review until today. She updated the review. I bring the door for her.
Yeah, go with a contractor.
Suspicions at the groomer.
I thought it was unusual that she wanted to rush me out with both dogs at the same time.
Then,
What happened when you got home?
There was blood.
a dog owner's shock.
It was a little gruesome. There was a piece of tail missing. It was like sliced. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Ultimately, Marley had to have most of his tail amputated.
This is Judge Judy. Brenda Cornejo is suing dog groomer Diane Layton for vet bills and damages resulting from injuries to her dog, Marley.
Versus Layton. Parties have been sworn in. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Thanks, Bird. Miss Cornejo, this lovely animal is your dog. How old is the dog?
Marley is almost 7.
Have you had him?
I've had him. I adopted
You adopted him when?
It was June 16.
So you've had him about 4 years, a little over 4 years. Do you have any other dogs?
I do. I have a beautiful German Shepherd. She's a female. Her name is Penny. And they get along really well.
The defendant is a dog groomer, and from your papers, it appears as if you've used her in the past. Have you used her for both dogs in the past, or just this dog's name is Marley?
This is Marley. I've used her for both of my dogs because I would take them together.
Since at least 2016?
Correct.
How often do you take Marley to be groomed?
He gets groomed professionally about every, I would say, 2 to 3 months. It just depends on, how dirty he gets. But I bathe my dogs in between the groomings.
And other than this incident, which brings you to court today, you've been satisfied with her work?
Yes.
Now, according to your complaint, there did come a time, this is the last time that you took Marley to the defendant, that there was an issue.
Yes.
On what date was the last time that you took him for?
Groomed by Diane Layton on July 21st, 2020.
Prior to July 21st of 2020, had you noticed any injury to the dog's tail?
Absolutely
His
not.
tail, nothing.
Absolutely not.
What time, if you recall, did you take Marley into Miss Layton to be groomed?
I dropped him off. It was, I would say, around 10:30, 11. And then I picked him up a little after 4:30. And so it was a longer than usual time for them to be groomed.
Does the defendant call you to tell you it's time to come and pick up the dogs?
Yes, she has to.
And in the prior 4 years that you've been taking Marley to her for grooming, approximately how long does that grooming session take?
Approximately, let's say like 2 hours.
So this was considerably longer.
Yes, it was unusually longer.
Will you tell me what happened when you went to pick up Marley on the 21st of July?
I got the call that the dogs were ready, and I went up to the counter, and she looked nervous and asked me to take both of my dogs at the same time. And I normally take one at a time because I can't manage, the Shepherd and Marley. So I said, no, I can only take one at a time. I thought it was unusual that she wanted to rush me out with both dogs. I grabbed Marley first, and then I went from point A to point B. So the door of the grooming to my car, which was parked right in front of the shop. Right before I put him in the car, I did notice like a fresh drop of blood on the side of his body. But I looked, and there was no cut. There was nothing there. So I thought it was unusual. But then I put him in the car and went back for my other dog. And then because of the way the parking situation is located in front of her shop, there's cars waiting for you. There's only like 2 parking spaces. And so they're waiting for you to move. So
you left?
Yeah, so it was very quick.
Left. What happened when you got home?
I picked them up by myself. Usually my son accompanies me, but as soon as I got home, he was out there waiting to help me bring the dogs down. And I parked, and he took both dogs through the side of the house to the backyard. And he was playing with them outside.
Were you watching them?
I was watching him outside of the porch door, and he was playing with them there.
So you were watching?
Uh-huh.
Okay, continue.
So he was under the porch playing with the dogs, and it was momentarily, and then he screamed, and he yelled out, "Mom!" The dog's bleeding, and, he was, like scared. So I went out there, and I looked at Marley, and I couldn't believe what I saw. It was still like missing. It was like sliced. There was blood that apparently had restarted bleeding. There was like bone and flesh. I couldn't believe it. I was in a bit of a shock, like seeing my dog in this condition.
I want to go back for a moment. When you took Marley from the defendant's shop, you said you saw a drop of blood. Had you ever seen that before?
No. Because I didn't see any visible cuts on that side, I didn't
You didn't
know
look
where it was
further.
coming from. Once I went outside to the porch and I assessed the dog and I saw him wagging his tail, and because the bleeding had restarted, he was, wagging the tail and flipping it to the side of his body. So, of course, the blood was coming from the tail and landing on the side of his body.
And that's why we're here, because the dog was, in fact, injured. We'll get to where and how that happened. You had substantial vet bills, and ultimately, Marley had to have most of his tail amputated.
Correct.
That's why you're here.
Correct.
The defendant has a whole other menu of excuses as to why this didn't happen as a result of her, but happened as a result of probably your neglect. So after you saw what happened, I assume you took the dog directly to your local vet, to the vet that you use.
Correct. There was no delay. So it was almost closing time.
What did you do?
So I frantically started searching for another vet because I called my vet and they said, we don't have any appointments.
So you found an emergency vet?
Yes.
I would just like to see the vet's report and bill. First, the report, if you would.
So they gave me this. This is what they gave me.
Okay. Did they stitch or bandage?
They did a clip and clean, and they did IV antibiotics. They placed a bandage, an e-collar. They gave them
Did she go
antibiotics.
back? I can read. Did you take the dog back to another vet subsequently?
So this was the original vet visit, and we kept in touch.
Listen to me. The answer is either yes or no. Did you take the dog back to another vet or the same vet?
I took him back to the same vet until the 28th.
Okay. I would like to see the other bills and reports from the same vet.
So
this one was
that's
$400.
the first one. And then there was a recheck here for pain medication. And the rechecks aren't billed, so it's just rechecks. They gave me...
I understand. I'm reading it. Don't tell me what they said.
Okay.
And that was on what date? The 28th?
Yes.
Did you take the dog back to...
I took him back to my regular vet as a second opinion.
On what date?
On
what date?
29th, and I have a note.
May I see it, please?
Yes. So they actually gave me an exam.
Shh, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Sorry.
When was the next time? Just give me the date.
So he was...
Just give me the date. I see that the dog was not eating.
On the 29th of the morning was the second opinion from my
Yes.
vet. And then...
I see that.
And within an hour, I
see
took...
that. When was the next?
On the same day. The same day his tail was amputated with surgical intervention.
At what vet?
True Care for Pets. It's an emergency pet center.
May I see the write-up and the bill for that,
Yes.
please?
So this shows...
Don't tell me what it shows. Just put it down. And can I see the bill for that, please?
Yes, so...
Okay, and now Marley is fine. Look, he has a shorter tail.
Yes.
Looks perfectly happy.
Yeah.
Okay, but he wasn't for a long time. All right, Miss Layton, tell me what happened on the 21st of July.
On the 21st, she came in around 11 o'clock, and we start taking our dogs in at 7 o'clock. That's why they were there so long. I have a copy of Marley's card that we write everything on as they come in, as I do on every dog we do. And it shows Marley has been having trouble with that tail since 2018.
2018?
Yes.
And what kind of trouble has Marley been having with the tail?
We have been taking fly eggs off the end of that tail since 2018, the very tip of it.
Explain that. Look at me. You've been doing what? Explain to me what you've been doing.
When we put him in the bathtub and the big crust is there, it's full of fly eggs. So when we have him in the tub, we soak them all off, clean it all up, and each year it has progressively gotten worse and worse and worse. And she's done nothing about it up until the day that it was so bad that it really bled.
Your Honor, that's incorrect,
Okay.
and I can show you proof.
Just a second. I would like you to show me on her card, starting in 2018, where you document that.
You want 2018 only?
No, well, I want to start with 2018, where you document the fact that you told her that this was a problem and that she's done nothing about it. But that's the tip of the tail.
Yes.
That doesn't require any surgical removal. She had, according to you, fly eggs that were crusted, and you soaked it.
Yes, the problem with it is when they leave the fly eggs for that long, they get a bacterial infection and the tail will not heal without antibiotics. And it just has progressively gotten worse and worse.
Your Honor, can I show proof?
Just a second. I would like you to point to me what you're talking about. Okay, and read it to me.
Okay, August 9th of 2018 was the first time we started seeing trouble.
Tell me what it says.
It says...
Read exactly what it says in 2018.
She takes a 7 on the body, which makes the dog bald, which makes him more susceptible to flies.
Okay, no. Just read what it says.
7 everything, number 10 on muzzle. Had bloody tail.
Wait just a second. Had bloody?
Your Honor, she forged that card and I can show proof.
Just a second. I don't want to hear you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I only want you to read me what you did, not your groomer. That's hearsay. Are any of them here today?
I didn't bring any. I thought the card was good enough. It has their initials and their signatures.
How do I know who they are?
Brenda Cornejo is accusing dog groomer Diane Layton of lacerating her dog's tail during an amputated as a result.
Okay, read what it says, please. I can't read your handwriting.
This is one of my groomers. Had bloody tail after bath. I did not do...
Oh, no. That's it. Just a second. I only want you to read me what you did, not your groomer.
These are all what different groomers have done to Marley. Every one of these.
Just a second. Miss Layton, do these groomers still work for you?
Well, most of them. I only have 6 now because of COVID.
But most of these groomers work for you. I'm not reading what they said. That's hearsay. I can't read what they observed. Are any of them here today?
I didn't bring any. I thought the card was good enough. It has their initials and their signatures.
How do I know who they are? Maybe you wrote that. Maybe your sister wrote it. Maybe your friend wrote it.
I can show you cards.
That's the way courts work. Courts have to have witnesses that they can examine. And they can say, describe what you meant. That if you said you saw a bloody tail, explain to me what you meant by bloody tail. I have to be able to ask a witness. Do you understand?
I have cards on, yeah, I do, but I have cards on every dog we do, and every dog, everything is noted. Everything. That's what this catalog is.
Your Honor, can I show proof of
her false
statement?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm discarding it anyway, but if you...
Her statement is completely false because she's claiming that since 2018, he had a condition or a tail problem or supposed bleeding, which aside from the pictures that are dated from 2017 to the present of February 2020, I have my witness who has seen my dogs. Her kids have played with my dogs. They've seen him in the front yard.
Now I'll hear you witness.
Hello, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
My name is Tia Weinstein.
Ms. Weinstein, when was the last time that you saw Marley just prior to his having his tail amputated?
Probably in February 2020 when we just have the dogs come out and play with the kids in our cul-de-sac.
How many times have you seen Marley play between 2017 and February of 2020?
Numerous times. Too many times to count.
More than 10?
Yes, more than 10, 20, 30. It's literally a weekly thing.
Are you neighbors?
We are neighbors.
Have you ever seen injury to the dog's tail?
Never.
Have you ever seen Marley biting or scratching or biting his tail?
No, not at all.
And between 2016 and 2020, did to July 21st, about Miss Layton's care of either one of her dogs?
No, never. She's never complained about any type of grooming.
Okay, very good. Anything else either one of you want to show me?
I would like to show you some pictures of fly bites on a dog that we just did this last week.
Was it this dog?
No, it was not, but it shows you what kind of damage the fly can do.
Your Honor.
Not interested.
Can I show you? I'm sorry.
Just a second. Just a minute. I'm not interested in pictures of another dog with fly bites. What else do you have?
I just have what I sent you showing that this dog has had trouble all along.
Okay, good. What else do you want to show me?
I would
Tell
like
me
to
first
show
what it is.
you the Yelp reviews of someone
Thank you, Ms.
grooming.
Weinstein. Not interested. What else?
And I have the copies of the medical expenses of what Marley went through and the pictures of the stages of the tail in different conditions because of this accident.
Oh, well, I'd like to see pictures of the different conditions. That I would like to see, because I already have the numbers.
This is the picture of July 21st and how it looked.
Okay.
This is a picture of how they left him patched up in different areas of his body, which tells me that they probably...
Listen to me. You want to volunteer a lot of information that you're not allowed to do. Just show me a picture. I draw my own conclusions about what the photograph represents.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So I had to lose income because of this 2-month healing process. I called in sick. I gave away shifts. I took unpaid time.
Okay. It was a terrible accident.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brenda Cornejo says dog groomer Diane Layton severely injured her dog Marley during a grooming appointment.
Okay, what are you showing me now?
This is the condition of the tail. So these are stages of how the tail progressed from the date of injury to the healing process that took about 2 months after being amputated.
Just a second. Where was the cut? Just show me where the cut was that you're alleging, because I assume
right here.
that you went outside and you saw the cut.
It's right here, ma'am.
Now, where
Your
on the tail was that cut?
On the tip, Your Honor.
Show me the other picture. Is that when he first came home?
July 21st is this picture. This is right after grooming. This is the date of injury.
Okay.
That's July
Got
21st.
It. So that's what it looked like?
Yes.
Okay. And $110.
No.
That's what I have. $400, $32, and $26.78. Are there any other bills?
Yes, Your Honor.
Show me the other vet bills.
So these are all of the bills from True Care for Pets surgery. So it's that one.
What is that for?
That's a bandage light wrap.
Okay, so just a minute. That's a plus 60. Next.
And I have another 98. And I have another 90.
Wound repair. That's on 812.
Then I have another 32.50.
I already added that $32 in, madam.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay, anything else?
Yes. So this is a whole packet here. So this is the main surgery.
I already have that.
Okay. And then there's this one.
Anything else? I have $33.58. Do you work, Ms. Corneo?
Yes, ma'am. I have 2 jobs. I'm
$6.78. I've got that already. Next. Come on.
Okay. Did you get this one?
Who took the dog to the vet?
I took him to the vet on all occasions. So I had to lose income because of this 2-month healing process. I called in sick. I gave away shifts. I took unpaid time.
Okay.
Etc.
It was a terrible accident. $33.58. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
The ski passes turned out to be fraudulent.
We are all in the same exact position.
You have to find the person that duped you if you were a dope that got duped.
Judge Judy.
Didn't strike one up for the groomers. We get blamed for a lot.
I think the decision was appropriate and fair.
I told them 3 separate times to get that dog to the vet, and they totally ignored it.
It's hurtful, but it's false. They're well taken care of.
How can I be sorry it happened? We didn't do it.
Take pictures before and after you drop off your dog. Inspect them thoroughly.
Groomers never win.
Miley's a happy dog, and I'm glad that he survived.
She came into me, I felt super bad.
A mechanic promised to make it right.
How much to fix your car?
He said anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000.
Where did you get the money?
It was my life savings.
Now only the judge can salvage it.
Did you fix her car?
I did not.
That means you just took her money.
No, ma'am, I was trying.
Try. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You did nothing.
This is Judge Judy. Tara Dern, is suing Enrique De La Vara for the return of money she paid him to fix her car after she'd been in an accident. Tara claims Enrique didn't do any work.
Judges case number 102 on the calendar in the matter of Dern versus De La Vara. Parties have been sworn in.
Ms. Dern, you had an accident with your car. According to you, you were rear-ended by someone, and then you went into the car in front of you. Is that what happened?
I was bumped in an accident, and the impact shocked me, and I rear-ended somebody, and it was a really bad accident.
So you had damage to both the front and rear of your car?
Correct.
In what month and year did the accident happen?
July 27th, 2020.
According to your complaint, you had liability insurance on your car, which is a relatively new car, but did not have collision on the car. So whatever expenses, because what I understand from your complaint is that the person who hit you fled the scene.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Do you have a police report of that incident?
I do not.
Do you have any paperwork with regard to that incident?
I do not.
Did your insurance company pay the car that you hit?
We're still in the investigation. I do have some pictures of evidence from the accident.
No, I want to know if you have any documentation from your insurance company. Who were your insurance carriers?
Geico. I have Geico insurance.
And you had them on that date, on the date of the accident?
Yes, correct, Your Honor.
Well, you hit the car in front of you. Did you give that car owner your insurance information?
Yes.
Were you contacted by Geico?
Yes.
Did Geico settle that claim?
It's still being under investigation.
Do you have any letters from Geico back and forth?
Not with me, but I have received letters.
That they're still investigating the accident?
Yes, correct.
And police were not called to the scene?
Police were called.
If the police were called, there was a report?
Yes, I didn't bring the information, Your Honor.
You didn't bring the police report?
I didn't bring it.
I'd like to see photographs of your car after the accident. Do you have one full picture of the car? And then you can show me its parts.
Front. Here's the back.
Okay, so that's where you hit somebody, and
This is the rear. I have multiple rears.
Got it. Okay. That's a pretty bad accident. Was anybody hurt?
I was under a lot of shock, but fortunately no one was hurt. I had some chemical burn on my hand, but...
From?
The airbag.
From the airbag?
Yes.
How did you find the defendant who you brought your car to fix?
So I posted something on the San Diego Conscious Community page in regards to looking for someone who specializes under collision repair. So someone that I knew personally referred me to the shop TJ Crossman's, and she specifically asked me to ask for a guy named Ricky. So I said, great, I'm being taken care of. I'm just really looking forward to getting my vehicle fixed. So I
Who
went.
was this person?
This woman is someone that I knew, that I thought I could trust.
Who?
Her name is Dulcet.
And how did she say she knew Ricky?
She didn't specify. She just said, here's the shop you should go to. Ask for a guy named Ricky.
So you went and you found Ricky, and Ricky worked at a body shop.
Yes, correct.
Was your car drivable or not?
It was not. I had to get it towed there.
On what date did you get it towed there?
August 4th.
Mr. De La Vara, you're shaking your head no. It wasn't towed to your shop?
In a body shop or an automotive repair shop. Well, I don't work there anymore, but it was an automotive repair shop. It wasn't a body shop.
Okay. So what kind of work do you do?
I'm a health coach, and I also teach classes. Previously to the accident...
She's not a mechanic.
Yes.
Go ahead. Previous to the accident, what?
I was driving Uber as well. My vehicle was my means of making money, so just extra money.
When you brought your car into this mechanic's shop and you asked for Ricky, he introduced himself. And did you make a side deal with him that he would fix the car on his own time?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Okay. And the side deal that you made with him, which he would not be doing on his boss's time, was how much to fix your car?
He said anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000.
Had you gotten other estimates to fix the car?
No, Your Honor. At the time, I was living in fear. I was very emotional, and I just wanted to get my car fixed. I wasn't thinking clearly at the time.
Where did you get the money?
I just had money. It was my life savings.
You had the money where? In a savings account or in a checking account? In what? What bank?
It was Huntington Bank. It was in my checking account.
Now, you say you wired the defendant money to start working on your car. Do you have proof of that wire?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
$3,000.
And that went into what account of yours, Mr. De La Vara?
It was a Western Union. I just went and picked up the cash. It didn't go into an account.
Okay, so she wired it and you picked it up in cash at Western Union.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was $3,000. And then she sent you another payment.
Yes.
When?
I think it was 2 weeks after.
How much did she send you?
Another $2,000.
Did you fix her car?
I did not.
Why not?
I was in the process of getting the parts for the car, and I mean, I tried to save her some money because she was...
How long did it take you to get the parts for the car?
Well, I never got them.
When did she first send you the $3,000? On what date?
I don't remember.
Was that in August?
I don't remember the date, ma'am. It may have been.
What was the date?
It was the day of the accident. The day that she ran into me, or when I met her. That afternoon or the next day, she sent me the money, and I went and picked it up. Thing is that for me to save her the money that I was trying to get her for $5,000, that repair, because I ended up taking it to one of the body shops that we used, and they gave me an estimate, because I was going to try to fix the car through them. It was $10,000. She came into me. I felt super bad. She was...
You had the car for 3 months. What did the car look like after 3 months? You had the car and her money.
It looked the same because...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
It was in the same condition as when it was towed into your shop.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, that's outrageous, sir.
Well, the thing is that I was trying to get the...
No, you just took her money. That's really outrageous, sir. That's really outrageous.
Okay, ma'am, I was trying to get the parts. I was trying to save her money. When I saw her, she was...
Try. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You did nothing.
That is correct,
You just took her money.
Your Honor, look, this...
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. We're finished. Thank you very much.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I actually contacted the woman who referred me to the shop, and I said...
I knew what it was going to cost to repair the car, and I just tried to help her out. Things fell through.
I wouldn't even dare to refer anyone to this person.
It was repairable. It's just extensive repair.
And then later to find that my car wasn't worked on at all.
And like I said, we weren't a body shop. We were just an automotive repair shop, so I was just trying to help her out.
Yes, it's going to be fixed. I have to just slowly make payments as I go.
Well, she went to my work and told him that I stole her money. And that was my only source of income.
I'm glad that justice is served.
I was going to pay for it, but I lost my job, so now there's no way of paying it.
All parties in the matter of Gray versus Farrell. Step to the podium, please.
Kathy Gray is suing Jason and Lavetta Farrell after a run-in with their dogs caused Kathy to fall and injure one of her dogs.
Miss Gray, you and your husband and Mr. Farrell and Mrs. Farrell, all four of you were victims sometime last year. Is that correct?
It was this year in August.
August.
Yes.
And both of your families and your pets were relocated to a hotel, and you were staying in the same hotel.
Correct. Sit down.
You, Mrs. Gray, have 3 Shih Tzus.
I do. I only have 2 now. I did have 3 at the time.
But you had 3 in August.
Correct.
And you have 1 dog, the dog that's with you. And it is your claim that on the 23rd of August, you went out with your 3 Shih Tzus to walk them, and you took your dog out for a walk. You went through the hotel lobby. According to you, at the time you went through the lobby, your dog was on leash. Is that correct? Not an promise, not an answer. Yes is an answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when you got outside, did you take your dog off leash?
No, Your Honor.
Is what you're telling me that your dog was on leash when this incident happened?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Plaintiff says otherwise. I would like you to make sure that what you tell me is true, because I'm not sure whether you are responsible for the vet bills that plaintiff incurred anyway. But it's important to me to have all of the accurate information. Do you understand? This is not a murder trial. Okay. So your dog was, according to you, on leash.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dogs were on leash. You came out of the hotel. Mr. Farrell's dog was not on leash. You had an exchange of words with him. He said something like, my dog is friendly, doesn't bite. And your dogs were excited and barking. That be a fair statement?
I'll tell you the story.
Would that be a fair statement? I'm asking you a question.
They were that way when they saw the defendant's dog, yes.
Yes. They were excited and barking.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I could recreate that situation right now.
Me too.
If I wanted to, which I don't. And what happened is the dogs were sort of running around your dog on leash.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Farrell's dog never touched either of your dogs.
No, they did not.
Or you.
No.
Or got within probably 8 feet of you.
Of me or the dogs? Probably 8 feet is probably the distance.
8 feet. I said, didn't get within 8 feet of you or your dogs.
Right.
Your dogs were barking, running around, and you got entangled in their leashes and fell.
No, that's not what
fell
happened.
on the dogs.
That isn't what happened.
Did you fall on the dogs?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have to demonstrate how his dog be tripping over your dog. Then
What do you
have
want
to
to
show
see?
me.
What do you want to
that
see?
you-
First of all, they're lying. Their dog was not on a leash.
Kathy Gray is suing Jason and Lavetta Farrell after a run-in with their dogs caused Kathy to fall and injure one of her dogs.
Your dogs were barking, running around, and you got entangled in their leashes and fell.
No, that's
And
not what
fell
happened.
on the dogs.
That isn't what happened.
Did you fall on the dogs?
I did fall on the dogs. I fell back on the dogs after I yanked them behind me. My dogs weren't running around. They were sniffing around to go potty, whatever. He came out of the hotel glass door with his dog off leash. There's bushes in between us and him. He looked at me and said, "Don't worry, she doesn't bite." And I said, "It doesn't matter if she bites or not. My dogs will bark. They're Shih Tzus. They're going to bark." So they barked and they all pulled on my leashes. His dog came through the bushes going, "Arr!" And I yanked them back behind me, and I tripped off the curb that was behind me and landed on all 3 of them. That's exactly what happened, Your Honor.
Well, you tell me, madam, if his dog didn't come within 8 feet of you.
Because they noticed each other. My dogs
dogs are very fast. Dogs are very, very fast. If he came out snarling and running towards your dogs, something had to stop him.
My dog,
because
it was
he didn't
very
get,
quick.
Because he didn't get.
Can I explain
Of
what
course
happened?
It was very quick.
Can I show you a picture?
Go ahead.
See, which one should I do? So this one here. So we're walking from this direction. My dogs were up in here sniffing around. I was standing right here with them on their
Just a
leashes.
second. Hold on a second.
Okay.
You were standing where?
I was standing like
Show
right
me where
here.
you were standing.
Probably somewhere around here.
Okay. Somewhere around here is not an
No,
answer.
I
Show me
mean-
where you were standing. It's your picture.
Right here.
Well, first you showed me closer to the curb.
Well, because, I mean, it happened so fast. I was holding their leash. They were sniffing around. And when I yanked them back, I fell off that curb. They came out of this door right here.
Just show me, Miss Gray. I now see where you were standing, and show me where your dogs were sniffing.
All
Point.
around here.
And don't say anything. Okay, that looks to me about 10 to 12 feet away from you. Were they on retractable leashes or just long
believe
leashes?
one
Were they on?
was.
Look, no. Just listen to me. Don't say I believe. I want you to. Or short leashes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It lunged at us, and it was snarling, and its teeth were showing, and it happened so fast, I just yanked my dogs back, and I fell. And it would not have happened if his dog wasn't there.
I'm not buying.
Okay, you're not
I'm not
buying
buying
it, but it's true.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kathy Gray is suing Jason and Lavetta Farrell after a run-in with their dogs caused Kathy to fall and injure one of her dogs.
That looks to me about 10 to 12 feet away from you. Were they on retractable leashes or just long
believe
leashes?
one
Were they on?
was.
Look, no. Just listen to me. Don't say I believe. I want you to think. Were they on retractable leashes or short leashes?
I'm trying to remember
I have
because
three
we
shih tzus,
were
by the way.
I know you do. We were evacuated. We were improvising. So I think I had one of them on retractable leash. I'm trying to remember. Everything was. But if I did, and I don't think I did because I can't yank that one back. So no. And the leashes aren't any longer than 8 feet. I think they're only 6-foot leashes.
That's more than 6 feet away from where you were standing if you tripped back over the curb.
The dog was within 8 feet of my dogs and me. So they were, it was close.
Just a second. What I'm telling you, where you say you were standing and tripped and fell over that curb, which is what you wrote in your complaint.
Yes.
Your dogs were more than 6 feet away from you.
Well, actually, no, they were in the air.
If they were...
Because I yanked them back behind me and I tripped.
Oh, okay. He's not responsible for you falling and injuring your dog.
Okay. But I have
He's
video
not
of his dog
responsible.
off leash.
his dog is off leash
Your Honor,
is a bad
I
thing.
had to go through so
Miss
much.
Gray, that his dog is off leash is not a good thing. You have to demonstrate how his dog being off leash was the proximate cause of your tripping over your dog.
Definitely
or
the
over
reason
your
why
back.
I fell.
Then
What do you
have
want
to
see?
show me.
What do you want to
that
see?
You
First
say
of all,
you
they're
have,
lying.
you
Their
say
dog
you
was
have-
not on a leash. They're lying, and she was there.
I am assuming. I'm assuming that their dog was off leash. I'm assuming that their dog was off leash. You have to show a cause between their dog being off leash and you're falling backwards. Now, what I don't believe is that their dog was off leash and lunged at your dog. Because,
did.
and the reason I don't believe that, it's off leash is going to attack 3 little dogs. It doesn't stop cold in its tracks from attacking the little dogs, especially when they're no longer under control of anybody because the person who has control of them is on the floor. Then it would have absolutely gone if it was gnarling and snapping, as you allege.
It snarled, it
which
lunged at us, and it was snarling, and its teeth were showing, and it happened so fast, I just yanked my dog's back, and I fell. And it would not have happened if his dog wasn't there.
I'm not buying it.
Okay, you're not buying it, but it's true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
I'm not buying it. It doesn't make sense to me. As a dog owner my whole life, I realize that your dogs are Shih Tzus, and you say Shih Tzus bark. Well, I have 3 Shih Tzus. 2 of them bark, 1 of them does not. And they bark at everybody. They bark as soon as they walk in. And the breed is not consistently known as yappers. But your dogs, prior to this case starting, when they walked in, they were the ones that went after the defendant's dog. And then you picked them up. I watched that.
Okay.
And then you picked them up.
Okay.
That's what happened.
You're the judge.
Okay, your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you. Bye.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
You guys think it's really funny, don't you? You guys lied.
And on the next Judge Judy.
She collided into my bike, and I had to stop my fall before I was hit by a truck. She said, "I'm sorry, but I'm running late for school."
Judge Judy.
I think Judge Judy did justice, and regardless of anything, as you could see, we did not have to talk.
Because they're guilty and they lied.
Dog on or off a leash, her dogs were the aggressors.
They lied that their dog was on a leash.
And she wasn't even on a curb when she fell.
Yes, I saw him 3 times that day with your dog off leash.
I actually already handed the dog to her at the hotel entrance, and when I turned around,
because it's a bigger dog, it came at us through the bushes snarling, and so of course I'm gonna protect my dogs and fling him behind me.
The lady says, "I'm really sorry," and got tangled up. She had 1 leash that divided into.
Noticed each other. My dogs barked.
Got tangled up in her leashes and fell.
It happened so fast. I think I did, but I tripped off the curb.
I was upset about her dog's leg being broken in the middle of it.
And I landed on all 3 dogs.
We did as much as we could. My animal is a service dog. She goes to old folks' homes and wonderful with children. She just couldn't contain her dogs at that point.
And they also told me they were going to pay half the vet bill.
Not at all aggressive.
You did.
I send, my best wishes to her and her dog.
I hope you guys are happy your karma's going to get you.
I did not think anything like this could possibly occur.
After a night with the sitter,
the dog ingested something.
A day under the knife.
Your dog had surgery.
He was horrible. In pain, great pain.
And the evidence isn't bouncing her way.
It's a rubber ball. Part of a rubber ball.
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
The dog was in your care.
This is Judge Judy. Lori Gladstone and her husband, Fred Silva, are suing dog daycare owner Shannon Bishop for vet bills as the result of Shannon's negligence.
Judge Silva versus Bishop. Parties have been sworn in. Have a seat, please.
Miss Gladstone, you and your husband have this adorable golden doodle puppy, now probably 10 months old.
Yes.
Last month, you were going away for a couple of days. The defendant has a dog boarding service, and it is your claim that owing to the defendant's negligence, your dog ingested a foreign object while at her facility. Your dog had surgery, was in fact a foreign object that was causing a blockage. Your vet bills were over $7,000, and you want the defendant to be responsible for those. That's what the case is about.
Yes, correct.
The defendant has a counterclaim. The defendant's counterclaim is that you never paid for the boarding services, and in addition to that, that you defamed her on the internet in her business. So, a couple of questions. Have you or have you not used the defendant's services before?
Yes, I have.
For this dog?
Yes.
For any other dog?
No, this is our only dog we ever had.
And you never had a dog
No,
before?
I never had a dog before.
This dog, according to you, also suffers from an irritable bowel syndrome for which it takes medication.
Yes,
Is that correct? Prior to October, I think it was 23rd, is that it? October 23rd, you boarded your dog, whose name is Bingo, with the defendant.
Twice.
Were those overnight visits?
Yes.
For how many nights?
In June, it was for 5 nights, I believe, and 2 weeks prior to this incident, it was for the exact same time, 2 nights.
And during the period of time in June, there were no incidents. You were perfectly satisfied with her care of your dog.
No, actually, in June, we had traveled out of state. We extended our stay, and our dog actually was on very specific medicine for his IBS. I mean, food. He was on a specific prescribed diet from the vet. And we decided to extend our stay for a couple of days in Mexico, to which I texted Miss Bishop and told her that we didn't pack enough food, we'd be staying, and this was the exact food we needed for Bingo. And could she please get that? Would that be possible? A few days later, she texted me that he had been projectile vomiting into other dogs' crates. He was very ill and needed to go to the vet, and I was in Mexico. I said, I'm not able to do that. She took the dog to the vet as per our request, and at that point, he had a flare-up of his home. He was staying at the vet for 2 more nights. We picked the dog up and had to pick up his belongings when we returned, and realized in the crate of items she gave us back, she had indeed replaced his food with a different type of food. That wasn't his prescribed food, which ultimately caused the flare-up in his IBS. He has a very sensitive puppy stomach and needs to be on a very specialized diet. I didn't
That means he should be with his mother.
Right, I didn't...
That means he should be with his mother. And his mother doesn't pack just enough food and then decide to stay in Mexico.
Well, it was a COVID situation at the time, so it was...
If you went in June, that was during COVID.
Well, the dog was in her care and was instructed to give medicine. So, I mean, that was... I entrusted her and her pet sitting service to provide the care.
Ms. Gladstone, personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. You've never had a pet before. You have a pet now that has, according to you, an illness in a young dog. Irritable bowel syndrome in a young dog is an unusual illness. I've had dogs all my life, so I know it is an unusual illness for a puppy. So listen to what you just told me. You went to Mexico during COVID. You left your puppy with her in June. In what dog? For, let's say, 8 weeks. During that 8-week period of time, the dog was diagnosed with, because I assume you didn't buy the dog.
No, we adopted the dog. We adopted the dog, and we were not, it wasn't identified his IBS at that point in time.
Well, he should have been, because if you have a puppy that has a problem immediately, then the first thing you do is take it to a vet within the first week. Within the first 5 days, especially if you adopted the dog. What I'm telling you is this is what you just told me. You got a puppy. The puppy was sick. You went to Mexico in June for 5 days. You weren't supposed to be there for 5 days. You extended your stay, but you only provided the sitter for enough food for 2 days. You extended the stay and then said to her, this is what the dog needs for its stomach. According to you, she didn't get it. which would have said to me as a pet owner, you know what? The dog was sick. When it came back from her, she returned the dog in the crate. She told me that the dog was sick.
No, she
I'm
didn't.
Not leaving
She
my
didn't
dog
take the
again
dog.
with her.
No,
I'm-
she
Ju-
took. Okay.
She told you the dog was sick and projectile vomiting into other dogs' crates, and she took it to a vet. So, according to you, when you got the crate back, you saw that she didn't get. What did you do? You went away again and left your dog again with her.
But there was a period I
Miss
didn't
Gladstone,
use her. I didn't use her for a long period of time.
Your Honor.
Well, just a second. Did you use anyone else?
Yes, we did. We had my
Well, why didn't
husband's
you go
best
back?
friend's
Just-
daughter.
Miss
Because
Glad-
then it became.
Miss Gladstone, you're not following me. If I leave my child with a babysitter and I've given specific instructions to the babysitter and the instructions are not followed, I don't use that babysitter again. Because you did leave the dog again with her twice.
Right. I wasn't dissatisfied with her to that degree. I did not think anything like this could possibly occur. You're absolutely right.
Well,
and
just a
since
second,
then,
you
I
just
used
told-
her.
you-
I used
Miss-
her for day sitting. I used her for she does dog walking during the day. A lot of the dogs in the neighborhood go to her for play dates during the day from 10 to 3 or 4. I used her so that the dog could play with his friends and other dogs at her house, and I didn't feel like there would be an issue. So after time,
Well, that's what
we were going.
Miss Gladstone, pay attention. I asked you when you used her before. My question to you was a simple one when you went off. I said, when you used her before, because you said you had, were you satisfied? You said to me, not proceeded to tell me the whole story.
Well, I had questions
So you said to me-
because I had
you said to
questions in the
me
back of my mind
wasn't
that I
satisfied.
couldn't prove.
I
couldn't prove
well,
it.
I said to you, were you satisfied? You said no. And if you weren't satisfied, I wouldn't have left my dog again. Anyway, what your whole lawsuit is about is that you claimed that while the dog was in her care, the third time you left the dog with her on an overnight stay, and in between you had let her walk the dog, day sit the dog, and I assume continue to be satisfied, and other people in your neighborhood do the same thing, and according to you, that goes to her countersuit. You say that the dog required surgery. On what day did the dog require surgery? Was that the day you came home?
The day we chose to bring him to the vet the day after we came home because I have a letter from my vet right here if you'd like to see.
I don't read letters from a vet.
Okay, well, the vet said that he
medical
ingested
reports.
it's a medical report. No, it's a medical report. This is a page from the medical report.
Just a second. I will absolutely read a medical report, not a letter.
Oh, no, I'm
Not
sorry.
a
I
letter. Not a
apologize.
to whom it may
It's a page
concern.
from the...
Not
no,
a to whom
no,
it may
no, no,
concern
no.
letter.
This is a medical report.
Yeah, right. Okay. Where did you go on October 23rd
Palm
to 25th?
Springs. We drove to Palm Springs for 2 nights.
Okay. When you came home from Palm Springs,
No,
you
she
came home on
missed me
the...
Sunday morning.
Don't try to... We're not... You have to understand something, Miss Gladstone. We're not equals here. When I start to talk, you have to stop. I ask questions. I hope that you are taking in what I'm telling you. I'm a dog owner. I'm a dog owner who never lets their dog go someplace else overnight. Just not my thing. The dogs go with me where I go, especially a new puppy with IBS problems. Okay, you came home on the 25th and took the dog to the vet on the 26th. What time did you pick the dog up on the 25th?
I picked him up in the evening from Shannon's
What
house.
time?
I would say it was about
7 p.m.
7
p.m., Your Honor.
Okay. And what time did you take the dog to the vet on the 26th?
7 a.m.
And when did the dog have surgery?
6 p.m. that evening.
And now I'd like to see the vet report.
That's one piece of it. I have another.
Just a second. Shh. Just a second. Did the doctor give you what they had taken out?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
It's a rubber ball.
Miss Bishop.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you ever seen that before?
No. This is actually the first time I've gotten to see the evidence.
It's like a sponge ball.
I am so diligent about what toys I buy for the dogs that come to my house. I do not use balls small enough that dogs can tear them apart. I don't use...
No, that looks like a bigger ball.
This is
it looks like a bigger ball, but just a piece of it. Is that what it looks like?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you're not angry with her, why would you post anything negative?
I'm angry because I took the dog and realized he was not well and needed to be treated immediately.
So why didn't you take him immediately?
Lori Gladstone claims her dog swallowed a foreign object while in the care of dog daycare owner Shannon Bishop.
Okay, I gather, Ms. Gladstone, from this report that I just read the following things. Dr. Liz said that discussed that foreign object most likely consumed within 24 hours of onset of clinical signs. Now, you went away on the 23rd. When did you speak to that the dog was lethargic?
10:25 on Sunday at 11:40, she texted me that Bingo had thrown up 3 times over the backyard, his breakfast, and asked if he does that often.
That was on Sunday.
At 11:40.
That was the day you were coming home?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time she had told you?
Yes.
He had
and
no
you would
symptoms.
drop the dog off?
He had no symptoms up until throwing up. He was playing Friday and Saturday like there was not a care in the world.
Right, so the...
Okay. According to this doctor,
correct,
the object was probably ingested within 24 hours of the onset of the problem, which means, Ms. Bishop, that the dog was in your care when the dog ingested something. Okay, Ms. Gladstone, since October, a month has passed since his surgery. How has he been?
Oh, when he recovered from the surgery, he's fabulous. He's on medication. He's on medication to control all of it.
Ms. Gladstone, the defendant, based upon what I'm reading, may or may not be partially responsible, but you seem to think that it was as a result of her negligence.
Right, and I will tell you why.
But this is somebody that not only you care and for overnight care, so if when playing with a rubber ball, the dog playfully pulled it apart and ate a piece of that, that was the first time the dog was sick in her care, and according to you, it had been on play dates and daycare without overnights and at least 3 overnight visits, 1 for 5 days. So this isn't somebody who's a negligent person. Otherwise, you would be a stupid person to let your dog go to stay with her again at least twice overnight and multiple times during the day. You seem to be angry with her.
I'm not at all angry.
Well, if you're not angry and if you understand that she runs a business that you were satisfied with for many months and that took the burden off of you when you wanted to go to Mexico and Palm Springs, according to your vet, every other weekend. That's according to your vet, that he's taken care of by various sitters when you're out of town, which is frequently. You use her, and if you're not angry with her, explain the posts that you put up about her. You don't know how long that object had been in your dog. Your vet said probably ingested within 24 hours of the onset of the ill, not even 48 hours after you left the dog with her, that the dog was vomiting, was lethargic. It's possible that the dog ate something in her house. What I'm asking you is, if you're not angry with her, because you seem so angry with her.
I mean, look, it's an unfortunate situation. I was very happy with Shannon's care. I had suspicions about flare-ups in his IBS.
Okay.
I took the dog and realized he was not well and needed to be taken, treated immediately.
So why didn't you take him immediately?
It was late by the time we got him home, assessed him, tried to figure out what course of action to do because his vet was closed. And we thought, you know what, he's exhausted. He looks like he could sleep. We had spoken to the medical facility and they said, you most likely can bring him in the morning, let him sleep. So 7 a.m. we brought him to our vet. And she diagnosed him and and said he needed to be transported immediately for trauma.
Just a second. You picked up the dog, and the dog appeared to be sick. You said he wasn't himself. We were very worried. He had been throwing up, and he looked awful. My dog, at 7 o'clock at night, I would have taken him to an emergency vet. That's what I would have done.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
But when you are in a service business and somebody has friends, her opinion, that doesn't mean that I, in a legal sense, believe you're responsible for what happened to her dog.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Gladstone says dog daycare owner Shannon Bishop owes for vet bills after Lori's dog swallowed a foreign object while in Shannon's care.
Okay. May I see what she wrote about you on the internet?
These were Facebook posts, some of them. I've highlighted some of them. Not even money will make this okay.
I've never
Not to
mentioned her
worry,
name
they'll be
once.
bouncing.
Never mentioned her name.
Just a second. I'm just reading it. It was clearly not supervised. Well, that's your opinion. She's allowed to say that. It was clearly not supervised. Keep going. Okay. Ms. Bishop, I'm going to address your counterclaim.
Okay.
I'm dismissing your counterclaim. I'm dismissing your counterclaim because she is clearly someone who was angry and upset. Her dog was sick. She probably almost lost the dog. She's clearly attached to the dog. She's never had an animal before. She leaves the dog with other people when they go away. And the dog is a dog that has its own problems and had its own problems from probably a very exacerbated ingesting something in whose ever care it was, who, when he ingested it, probably exacerbated a pre-existing condition.
Certainly.
She was upset.
Certainly.
And she was venting to friends and neighbors. I'm sorry that you had people cancel
The
on you,
problem
but
with that is 90% of my business is referral and word of mouth. I only have my reputation to go on. So when this being thrown through the mud through people who know me and could possibly potential customers, that's a problem for me.
That's always true. But when you are in a service business and somebody is dissatisfied, they are entitled to communicate with their friends. Her opinion, that doesn't mean that I, in a legal sense, believe you're responsible for what happened to her dog.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay. She left her dog with you for 48 hours. Within that period of time, the dog developed symptoms that she said hadn't happened before. Well, she came home, and what she didn't do the night that she came home is she went to sleep, put the dog to sleep until the next morning. And if your dog is that sick, then if you are a dog, take the dog to an emergency facility if you think that it's a life-threatening situation. That's what you do.
I didn't fear it was life-threatening.
I can't. Well, if you didn't think that it was life-threatening, why would you think that she would think it's life-threatening?
Because she's a professional, and I didn't realize he was throwing up all day.
That's
I just
ridiculous.
wanted to know.
I don't understand. I actually don't think you should have an animal. Actually, I think that you have a certain lifestyle, and your lifestyle is inconsistent with caring for an animal that's going to be sick, probably, and be on medication forever.
Well, that's not what the doctor wrote in her report. The doctor.
Anyway, your case is dismissed. We're finished. We're done.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy, a trucker takes a spin with the company credit card.
The refrigerator trailer ran out of fuel because he was in gambling.
You know that I think that you're a thief.
Judge Judy.
This dog is a part of our life. It's our family.
I was not negligent.